jumping straight on the bandwagon, and we are doing an assumptions video. Well, I guess I'm not jumping straight on the bandwagon. I'm probably about 3 years too late, but we're going to get into it today. We're talking about assumptions about being a doctor. You guys sent me all of your assumptions over on my Instagram page, and there are some good ones in there, some rude ones, some funny ones, and some very accurate ones. So let's get straight into it. If you're new to my channel, then welcome along. My name's Sarah, I'm a doctor, and I have loads of vlogs and videos about being a doctor, so go and check those out. Right, you have no time for a social life. I love your channel. Well, thank you. And social life, well, who's actually got a social life at the moment? But in reality, yeah, I mean, it depends on how you plan your time. I certainly found it hard to keep a normal social life, especially with shifts, working weekends, working nights. It can be tough out there, but yeah, it just depends on how you plan your time. Okay, second, do doctors convince themselves that they have the worst disease ever when they get sick? Oh, well, I think medical students, definitely, because you learn about a disease or some pathology with a certain body part, and all of a sudden you just fixate on that. You're learning about it, reading about it day in, day out, and it becomes really easy to think the worst. In my experience though, doctors kind of tend to go the other way, especially A&E doctors. We're like, has it killed you yet? No. Great. It's probably nothing serious then. Vince will probably say that I'm not very caring when it comes to people's ailments. Right, doctors are the worst patients. Yeah, probably. We're notoriously bad at seeking medical help when we need it. That's very true. And also there is a phenomenon of doctors self-treating, which isn't meant to happen. The GMCs say that we all need to have our own GPs and that we need to seek medical advice from someone who's not your direct colleague if you do have a medical problem. Yeah, I mean, anytime a doctor comes into A&E as a patient, everyone does get a little nervous for many reasons. I suppose just you don't want to look stupid in front of them. Right, next. The pay is a lot. Yeah, I think doctors do get paid well. Compared to the UK national average, we definitely get paid above average, even considering the amount of time that you put in. And as you progress up the ranks of being a doctor, you get paid. Your assumptions about being a doctor: getting respect, treated well by the patients, not getting beaten up by the patients. Well, that escalated quickly, didn't it? Well, yeah, I mean, in general, I think patients do respect us. There's this weird thing that happens with doctors versus nurses where patients will generally be, if they're grumpy or stressed or anything, they'll often take it out on our nursing colleagues, and then as soon as the doctor arrives, it's all sweetness and light. It's something that we all know about, and it's very frustrating and not fair on nurses and healthcare assistants and other clinical workers. I know when I was a healthcare assistant, I saw it firsthand all the time. Now as a doctor, I see it from the other side, and I find it really frustrating. But it is what it is, and what was the next one? Treated well by the patients. Generally, we still do get people who are rude and grumpy, but what we try and remember is that when someone comes, for me, working in the emergency department, when someone comes into the emergency department, they are having a bad day. No one comes to the emergency department because they want to, and generally, they are at their wits' end. They are in pain, they are suffering in some way, or they're scared, and things can escalate quickly. Emotions are running high. So things can go wrong very quickly. Getting beaten up by the patients, well, unfortunately we do have a problem with some patients being violent, again for the reasons I've just talked about, but thankfully it doesn't happen all too often, and we've got a really good security team at our hospital, and there's quite a lot of police around generally. Next question: you have no social life or personal life after qualifying? And they've put sad emoji. I'll show you. Yeah, no, that's not true. And on this channel, I want to show you that doesn't have to be the case, that you can have a good life as well as having a very busy job and career. I very strongly believe that your job should be what you do and not who you are. And I hope that I can show you that that is the case in this YouTube channel. And I've stolen that tagline from a podcast that I'm starting with my other doctor colleague friend, Lauren. So yeah, your job is what you do and not who you are. And it's really important to make time for all of your personal things outside of work. Something that I've talked about in many videos and bored many people with is this idea of the 6 pillars of self-esteem. You may have heard of it. It's the idea that you have multiple pillars holding up your life, and the more things you're interested in and the time you invest in certain aspects of your life are the pillars that hold your life and your world together. So you might have social life, your work and other things that bring you purpose in life. You might be interested in certain hobbies, and those things all create pillars that hold your world and your confidence and your self-esteem up. And if you knock one of those out, then the rest of those pillars hold your world up, slightly weaker, but still standing. However, if you just focus on one thing and that is the only pillar holding your life up, if that gets knocked out, you are going to struggle big time. That's when things can really get difficult. So yeah, I would always encourage you to maintain a personal life outside of work. Okay, doctors think they are on top of the food chain. I think that is true in lots of ways. I think I have met many doctors who think that way, but I hope that that's not the case all the time. I think that especially in the past that was true, but yeah, there's much less of this hierarchical system in medicine than there used to be. You stick fingers up patients. Sorry, being brutally honest. Yes, I would say I do that at least once a shift, and I'm sorry, but that is just true. That is what we have to do. There are so many reasons we have to do it. When we're doing a neurological exam to test the power of the sphincter muscles, we also have to do it to look for certain problems with the GI tract. It's not fun. Prostate problems, constipation, you name it, I do it at least once a shift. And universally, I'd say that patients apologise to me for having to do it. I mean, I feel sorry for them. It's not a fun thing. No work-life balance. Okay, this is a theme. And yeah, next one, having a work-life balance can be difficult. Yeah, it's a challenge, but again, very important to try and keep up. Next assumption, you can't be squeamish. No, you can be squeamish, but you have to find crafty ways of avoiding doing the things that you're squeamish about. For me, I think everyone's got their thing, haven't they? For me, I hate anything to do with mucus. So respiratory was never going to be a job that I would enjoy doing. Can't stand sputum, and I would not be able to deal with sputum samples being viewed on a daily basis. Oh, no, not for me. Goodbye. Can deal with poo, vomit, all the rest of it. Not that though. Next, very hard, very long hours and very messy, but worth it. Yeah, I'd say that's true. Yes. Next, it's rubbish until you're a registrar. Absolutely not. I'm not a registrar yet, and I love my job. I really do, and especially now that I have dropped my hours down and that I feel like I do have more of a work-life balance. It's really good fun, and I think your job is what you make of it, and you know, the opportunities that you go for and the way that you view your job. If you can try and make yourself feel enthusiastic and enjoy the process, then it is so much more fun. You can't have kids. Absolutely not true. I don't have children, but so many of my colleagues do. I'd say the majority of them. Sometimes overthink minor things out of work. Definitely. The number of times I've come home and thought about things that I've done at work, absolutely. And yeah, I think this is very valid. Sometimes I overthink minor things out of work. A lot of the things that I come home and think about, you know, when you're just like trying to go to sleep and your mind's like, bing, they are often quite small things. It's almost a good thing that we care and that we tend to overthink. But it can start to get problematic. I remember when I was in F1, my first year after graduating, and I was really struggling with imposter syndrome and this feeling of not being good enough for my job and feeling like I was behind everyone else. And I definitely struggled with overthinking at that point. And it wasn't just the minor things, I was overthinking everything. And if I wasn't at work, I was thinking about work. And I was having poor sleep because I was so worried about if I was doing the right thing every day. I think I was probably burning out. But I suppose as you get, I'm by no means, really experienced, but I'm nearly 4 years postgraduate now, and as time's going on, I'm getting more experienced and more confident. I suppose I overthink a little bit less. You're helpful in your daily life outside of work. What life outside of work? You're pressured to carry on training to specialise. Yeah, definitely. That's every single day someone asks me about that, and I think that's fair enough because we do need more specialists. Being a doctor requires so much patience. Is that a pun? Or is that a real real question? Yes, we do require patience to do our job, because if we had no patience, we would have no work. And patience in the other sense of the word, of course, we need to listen well and really observe the patient and take the time to understand what they're going through. Absolutely. No social life. Been through that. You are very, very smart and don't struggle with studies, laziness or procrastination. I'd say wrong on all accounts. Very, very smart. You don't have to be very, very smart to be a doctor. You do have to be willing to work hard, to put in the hours and learn things. You don't struggle with studies, laziness or procrastination. That's just not true. I think we all struggle with those things, but it's just about learning how to manage them. You have to have an insane memory for learning at med school. No, I wouldn't say that doctors have particularly amazing memories, but I think you learn ways of remembering things that make it easier. We love a mnemonic, and coming up with stupid poems and rhymes and things to remember stuff. Yeah, it's all about making things easier, isn't it? And making it more fun. It can be emotionally draining. Yeah, definitely. It's you're dealing with life and death a lot of the time, and all the messy bits in between. And it's hard sometimes to not let that get on top of you, but that's part of the job. This one has to be a joke. A hero, a lifesaver, rushing around the department doing life-saving interventions. Oh, well, if it was an episode of Grey's Anatomy, that sounds about right. I would say no. The majority of my time at work I spend typing patient notes and ringing my colleagues and on hold to switchboard. And that's your lot. That's it, guys. So those are the assumptions about being a doctor. I think those are quite funny and I really enjoyed doing this. So did I answer your assumption? I would love to hear from you in the comments, and if you've got any more ideas for videos that you'd like me to do, then please let me know. This has been really good fun. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed this video and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my content, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys!